The podcast is back. Welcome to Tasler Guide Service. Join along as my guests and I dive into our outdoor adventures, share some laughs, and of course a few beers. A new episode will be released every other Friday at 5 a.m. I hope you guys have as much fun watching as we did making it. Yeah, it's kind of floppy. You just kind of got to put it up a little higher and it'll flop down. Something like that. That way it hides your face so you can't see it on video.
We're all ugly. We don't know. We don't look good on TV.
Hell no. Hell no. So this is the first podcast in my new podcast studio, we're going to call it. It was my daughter's room and it was Pepto-Bismol pink. And then she wanted to move down to the basement because I've got 3 bedrooms down there. I'm like, I know what I'm going to do with that room.
Absolutely.
So we moved out of the living room, and now we got a podcast studio.
And it used to be the hot tub room back in the day, right? Yeah. When your mom and dad were still here?
Yeah, this was my parents' acreage. And we had, me and Rick, this is my twin brother, Rick. He's been on River Certified podcast a few times. My trapping partner, Jay, he's been on 3 or 4 times.
I think this is like 5 maybe. I've been on here, a few times.
So when my family, me and Rick are the youngest of 8. So some of my older siblings, graduated, moved out of the house. Dad's like, well, I don't want to move them back, so I'm going to fix this problem right away. He cut a goddamn hole in the floor of the bedroom and sunk a hot tub in it.
Genius.
They're not moving back.
I think there's been a few nieces and nephews that actually pulled blankets into the hot tub and slept in it before.
It's definitely happened.
Yeah.
And if you see our dog running around, this is Shorty. This is Rick's hunting dog, fishing dog.
He is quite the companion.
Has he been trained at all? You got him on?
Yeah,
I saw you got some pheasants
doing
this
really
winter.
Good on pheasants, yeah. No duck retrieves yet, but just pheasants.
Well, you got to shoot the ducks first.
Holy cow.
Glad Dietrich was there to shoot the pheasants for him.
Mm-hmm.
You guys had a good year hunting birds this year, though. I saw a few pictures. You guys did all right.
Yeah, he's mama's dog until we go hunting, and then he knows he stands right beside me.
Time to go to work then, right?
That's right.
Mom doesn't shoot like Dad does, so he's Dad's dog when we're hunting.
Well, you are one of the only people I've seen shoot clay pigeons with an AR-15.
AK-47. But yes, I did.
I was like, there is no way in hell you're going to hit that thing in like 5 in a row.
I outshot Brian Kinsey with a rifle, him shooting a shotgun.
It was unbelievable.
Wow, that's impressive.
Got to be good at something.
That's right.
When the zombies come back, I have a skill that will help me.
As long as they're flying in the air in a repeating pattern.
Well, I remember when we were at Lake Erie when my sister joined us, and we were talking about, what we all carry and everything, and everybody was pulling out their handguns, showing everybody what they had, and I remember you saying, I was like, well, this is just to get me to the truck then before I get my real gun, And my sister looked around like, does everybody here have guns? Yes, we all have guns, yeah.
How many do you want?
Yeah.
What color would you like?
You're fine, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, your handgun's that's just to get you to where you need to be.
That's just to get me home or get me to my truck. Get to the police car, get to my truck, and then you're in a world of hurt.
Love it.
So, it's Sunday night. I had my girlfriend's oldest had his graduation party, so I was doing that all day. I was the walking taco guy. I made sure everything was filled and
nice.
Yeah, so it went pretty well. And now tonight is our annual event. Me and Jay have an annual, before you guys go to Lake Erie, we have the nightcrawler scramble.
Get on your hands and knees, crawl around in the dark.
Yeah.
So we go to this public golf course, which Jay used to own, but got smart and got rid of.
Most fun I ever had going broke.
Yeah.
You should be a cop.
I always said I should have named the golf course Raccoon Valley Golf Course and Bait.
Yeah. Could have made more money.
I would have made more money on the night crawlers.
Yeah.
Because they water the fairways, and then we just go there after dark, and there are thousands of night crawlers.
What's amazing is when you think about it, if you guys are out looking for night crawlers in the yard, you turn your sprinklers on and they'll come to the surface, but in a yard situation, your grass is what, 2.5 inches tall, 3 inches tall, 4 inches tall, whatever it is. But on a golf course, when it's mowed down to 5/8, 3/4 of an inch, whatever it is, I mean, the night crawlers are just right on top.
Yeah.
And you don't have to look for them. You just got to catch them. You just got to find them and ping them and grab them, but you don't have to look in the grass to really look for the night crawler themselves. So
there.
It's pretty quick, and I figured this out when I used to mow fairways, because I used to mow fairways in the dark. In the summertime when it gets hot and humid, and you've been working on the golf course all day, a lot of times I would just cool off and I'd work the clubhouse for a while, and then I'd go mow fairways in the dark because there's nobody in your way. Not going to get hit with a golf ball. It's cooler out, right? So, but what's amazing is the first pass down the fairway, you'd have to mow really slow because you'd have to let the night crawlers suck back into the ground. Because you could see them with your headlights. There's thousands of them.
You're just throwing protein everywhere.
Right. And if you mow too fast, you'd mow over them, and it would just get sloppy, and it was nasty. But the vibration from the mower on the first pass was enough to scare the night crawlers on the sides.
Yeah.
So when you came back that next pass, they were already gone. And so it was just the first pass. You had to slow down, let them go on the ground, and then you could pick up your pace and keep on going.
You're just firing warning shots.
Yeah, I'm sitting there, I'm like, what? Man, we've been doing this wrong our whole lives. Why are we not using golf course fairways?
Yeah.
The sprinkler systems work amazing. You're covering a lot of ground, and you've got acres of ground at a really short height. So, yeah, if you're looking for night crawlers, make sure you're talking to your superintendent. Make sure you got permission to be on a golf course. But what a great spot to get bait.
And we usually go about 10 foot, and then you just turn around and go back 10 foot, and they're back up.
Yeah. Because when you think about it, like, we need a lot of night crawlers, right? And night crawlers, one, they're not cheap, Two, the ones you buy a lot of times are, farm raised ones or whatever. They're generally pretty short.
Yeah.
They're not very big, right? You get a lot of the 4 inchers and little tiny ones. But out on the golf course, you can really get some big, nice 6, 7, 8 inch night crawlers and get some length out of them. So I like them. I think they're just a little bit juicier, a little plumper, and we're after the big walleye. So big bait catches big fish.
And you can choose, If it's a small one, you just don't grab it.
Absolutely.
But we'll go out tonight, and then 15 minutes we'll have the 10 dozen for you guys, because you usually take 10 dozen crawlers.
We'll need more than that. That's 10 dozen is just going to catch our limit.
Yeah. There's 7.
There's 7 of us, so that's
2 boats this year. So
Okay.
so
He's
7.
bringing a couple guys, and then we've got Justin, Sean, and Dietra and I in my boat.
Okay. Because that's what you normally did. We'd go 15 minutes, we'd have 10 dozen crawlers, and
when
be
we
like,
had
we're done.
one boat.
Last year was a little harder. I brought Garrett with me last year, and it was cold. You remember that?
Yeah.
That's right.
And I mean, frost set in that night, and we had a hard time getting them because the temperatures were just almost too cold. Tonight's beautiful. They're gonna really pop.
Yeah, they're going to be everywhere.
But we need what is that? So if everybody limits out every day, we're going to limit out with like 125 walleye. Right, 6 fish per person per day. It's 18.
30 a day.
18 fish per person times 7.
42 a day. Yeah, 42 a day times 3 is 120, 150, 132.
132.
Yeah.
So,
Jeez.
I mean, you need 10 dozen just to limit.
Yeah.
That doesn't account for
Drums.
the misses, the
Yeah.
drums, everything else.
Yeah.
So, really, ideally, we probably need 20 dozen,
Yeah.
probably.
And I'll probably throw another 5 in mine, so I got some bait stuff to get bait. So
The 3 of us pick up 100 night crawlers apiece.
Yeah.
We're home.
Yeah.
I think that'd be the goal.
I gotta catch your guys' limit fishing, so it's no different. I'll catch your limit night crawlering too.
But catching your limit in Erie, that's not really fishing. You're
Just
like,
gotta find where they are. Last year we started slow. The last year took us 2 hours to get on them, and once we got on them, it took us another 2 hours to limit out
Right.
with our 30 fish
Yeah.
a day.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It gets to the point where you're like, well, how many 30-inchers did we get?
Yeah. Well, we
got
kept
our
losing
limit.
count, so now we got the baseball clickers.
Yeah,
Yep,
that works great. A little clicker because it's easy to lose count, and that's one thing on Erie. You do not want to come to shore with one too many fish.
No, it's not worth it.
No, and they're sticklers about it, and they should be.
Right,
so
they should be with a limit like that.
Right.
Yeah, because there's no possession limit. There's just a daily limit.
It's a daily possession.
You get
limit.
6
per day. If
So
you're
if
there
you-
for 3 days, you can each have 18 fish to bring home.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
And if we want to go back out and catch a few to eat, we can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
we just gotta stay with our possession limit and keep
Correct.
a few little ones to eat and bring all the big ones home. And
Then, like,
nuts.
if you want a trophy fish, you keep all them eaters and you fill your live well,
Yep.
and you just stop 1 or 2 short of your limit, and then you can catch and
all that.
release as long as you want to fish.
Yep.
If you want to stay out till 4 in the afternoon,
That's right.
and go fishing all day, you go fishing all day, and then
We're
when you're ready to
closer
call
at
it quit,
22 and
we need 2 more
go
fish, and we can go in. You
You
So-
need to get after some of them 25, 30-pound channel cat that are living in there. Is what
we
you
got
need to
some
do.
big ones last year. Eldon got that. He was a
Yeah,
decent fish.
yeah, he
was
got one
10
last
pounds
year.
probably.
Yeah.
I think we got 3 catfish last year, but
But I think if you go on the mud flats to the east of the island, because you
Yeah.
go out to Kelly's Island,
yeah,
Correct.
you ride the ferry out to Kelly's Island. If you go to that mud flat to the east, I think you could just hammer.
we could slam catfish.
channel cat.
Yeah.
But that's where I caught that big 32-incher too. Was right out on that mud flat
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah.
We fish the other side of the island now. We don't even go to that side where we started.
I know, because you like walleye. I want a big ass catfish.
Yeah, but we'll catch 10-pound drum all day and
Yeah.
rock bass and
Yep.
drum white bass.
Yeah, that's a good time.
It is a good
Need
time.
to get a salmon or two yet. The other groups caught 1 salmon. That's it.
I would think you'd have to go deeper than shit for the
You
salmon.
would, and we're shallow.
Yeah.
But last year that we had to go deep. We couldn't find them. Shallow.
Yeah, we were
at
finding most of ours
37
over
foot.
30, 32 to
32
35. Yeah.
Was it hotter than normal?
No,
No, I don't
windy.
think so.
It got mucky, so all the weather beforehand. So
The
it was
clarity
dirty.
got pushed out.
Yeah.
So we were fishing in between the muck, and then as soon as it got clear water, the
old mud line.
Right.
And
That's kind of cool when you get on that mud line to see
See
it,
it.
just go for miles. You know, it's muddy, and literally 5 feet later, it's crystal clear.
Yep. Yep.
that's where all 4 poles will drop.
Yeah.
Jay likes fishing 6. I don't like tangling up, so I only fish 4 poles, and
So you don't run planer boards at all?
yeah, just 2 planer boards out the side and 2 straight back is how I fish them. Jay will run 2 straight back, 2 out at the back at an angle, and then 2 straight out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I do 6 when I blue cat, but I'm covering a lot more.
Right.
I'm not Lake Erie fishing where there's 800 boats.
Right.
I can get some ground and get them off to the side to where you can barely see the planer board.
Sure.
Yeah, it's nice going during the week. I mean, we fish Thursday and Friday, and I mean, there's plenty of boats, but they're not anywhere around us. Saturday, there's more boats because all the
Correct.
city boys come out.
Yep. And it's a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And it's the guide boats. You know, you got those big charter boats that go out, and,
Yeah.
you know, then there's just a train following those guys.
No,
Right.
the guide boats follow me. They see it's me, and then they'll fucking tuck right in behind me.
Look, it's that ranger that almost burnt and drowned.
We got rid of that, thank God. We are Alumacraft fishermen.
Yeah.
In this place.
and I think that's what my buddies got too that we're bringing out. So we'll have
Way to
we'll have
go.
2
They're tough to
Alumacrafts
beat
out
for
there.
a,
They're
for a
good boat.
DV.
Yeah.
That's top of my list too.
For sure, the best.
Talk about your boat a little bit, Rick. What you got?
My custom build 2021 Tournament Pro 185 Alumacraft. Got 150 and a 9.9. I don't use a trolling motor or anything, so I'm either anchoring and jigging or we're trolling. That's the only 2 things I do because I fish straight walleye in the boat.
Yeah.
We'll blue catfish, you know, at different big lakes down south and stuff like that where we can drift and stuff, but I don't need a trolling motor. And
It would help in that shallow water
Yeah.
for blue cat, but
Yep.
but for what you do, 90% of the time you're correct.
Yep.
A kicker motor's better than a trolling motor for what you do.
for sure.
Well, and you can get it to the right speed that you want.
Yep.
You can get it slowed
Yeah.
down.
Yep.
So
1.4 to 1.8 is what we find the best for Erie usually. Real slow bite, we'll get down to a 1.2.
yeah.
But usually 1.4, 1.5 usually the best for the bigger fish
Yeah.
to keep the drum away. If you get down to 1.2, you're catching so many drum every other fish and losing
Yeah,
a lot of
where
worms.
my blue cats were at 0.3 to 0.8 tops.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
if you're at 0.8, you got to
You're
throw out a
flying by
drift
them.
sock
Slow
or
down. Yeah.
Yeah, got to slow down.
So,
Well, those planer boards work great for blue cats too. You're spreading out. You're covering a lot more ground.
And they just turn into bobbers.
they're just bobbers.
They're bobbers,
They just
right?
disappear.
You
You're
know.
like, ooh.
But like when you're going slow enough, the way a blue cat can go hunt, they're using their senses for that smell, and they can get behind a wider area and be like, oh, there's something up here,
Yeah.
and they'll track it down.
They'll just trail you.
Yeah.
And when you're in shallow water, you could see the mud following you.
Yeah, if they got one really close, you can see it.
I think that 50 that we caught, we're like, oh my God, there's one coming.
And then we rolled it.
And then he rolled it. Yeah. His tail flipped out of the water.
Yeah. Right after you got that one, that other one got in the back of the boat, and he rolled, and he was at least that. He was 50 or 60 pounds. He never bit, but he came up out of the mud when we run him over with the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some big ones in there.
Man, there's some big ones. We're going to make a trip down there this year.
But I went last year, and I caught over 50 fish, and my biggest fish was 15 pounds.
Yeah, I had my buddy down by Coon, they went. I couldn't make it. I can't remember what I had going on. I couldn't make it. I was supposed to go on that trip, but they ended up 3 instead of 4. Same thing. It was 15-pound fish over and over and over and over again. That's just what they were catching.
I will take them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Ryan likes
but
the big
I ran.
fish.
I ran guide trips down there, and that guide trip, we had fun. We had a blast, but we just didn't get that kicker fish that I was really hoping for.
Yep.
A big albino or a big blue.
Mm-hmm.
Which I ran a guide trip Tuesday up here, and we had 2 studs hooked before dark, and they both got into the wood, and we never saw them. But judging by the head shakes, I'd have loved to see them. I'd have loved to have been holding the pole because they were massive head shakes.
Yeah.
So that sucks. My first guide trip of the year, and we get the opportunity to get a couple studs and can't put it together.
And if anybody's got a credit card for my Vimno, I can give you the GPS coordinates to Spring Lake, the exact coordinates where we had every one of those fish hooked. Spring Lake, Grand Junction, Iowa.
Now only for $19.99.
Yep.
We'll drop you a pin.
Yep.
I've never done a podcast and played fetch at the same time, so hopefully it's not screwing with you guys, your listeners, but I'm having a good time.
He won't slow down. He will go as many times as you throw it.
About to yank me out of the chair.
Yeah, he just got in from playing with Ryan's 2 dogs, running laps and laps and laps. Ryan's 2 dogs are sleeping outside right now, and Shorty's like, throw me the damn toy.
Yep, and the one got a haircut, and it looks like they were shearing sheep in the backyard.
Yeah, I've got what the hell are they? Labradoodles.
Labradoodles. Yeah.
And they're outside dogs. They're farm dogs. So Labradoodles are not made to be farm dogs. They're a magnet to any burr, any thistle, anything that can get stuck in their hair. So in the wintertime, I didn't shave them. So this spring, I was like, all right, it's time. They got to get cut. And the hair was so matted that I had to shave one of my female down to the skin. She looks bad.
She looks pretty. She's pretty and pink.
He didn't shave like a wrestling haircut. He gobbled it. She's got.
It was. Yeah. So I can't wait for a couple weeks when she gets some fur back.
She looks like me. She's nice and patchy up here on the top. A little thin back here, a little thicker on the sides.
But that was the only way to make her comfortable because she was just a 3-inch mat of under fur. And it was all going to fall out.
Yeah.
She looks faster when she runs now, though. She looks like a greyhound when she's running around the house.
She is aerodynamic for sure.
Way more agile.
Oh, man.
So, Rick, you got some walleye this week.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Took a trip down to Big Creek. Skylar graduated high school. My best friend's stepdaughter. So she wanted to go out with Uncle Rick fishing, so we took her out and actually found a big hole of walleye suspended, just feeding on shad. My live scope was just going nuts, and there were fish everywhere. We only ended up landing 4 walleye, but all 16-inch walleye. Roger had a good one to the top, but Roger's fishing skills, he tried lifting the walleye up out of the water on a single hook. And
Cardinal sin.
Yeah, of course, it spit the lead head, and it was probably a 20-inch.
I'm blaming on his net man. Where the hell were you?
I was hooked on to about a 50-pound flathead at the time that decided to hit my brand new minnow I just put on a lead head, and I felt it. I thought it was a catfish or a flathead because I seen him sitting in the bottom, and I thought, he's not going to hit it. up he comes, and he just reeled it. And I got him up about a foot off the bottom one time, and I felt him just shake his head one time, and he got to a rock or got to his hole again, and I couldn't get him up out of the hole. I did it for about 15 minutes on 12-pound test, but I could not move him.
Those reservoirs hold ginormous flathead.
He was
and,
huge.
Carp and everything, but they're so hard to target because they could be
How do you find them?
one spot, and then a half hour they could be on the other side of the freaking lake.
Right.
Yep. And he was the wind was perfect, just pushed all these shad down to one corner, and the walleye were just feeding, and he was just underneath them.
Yeah.
Whatever the walleye were dropping, I think he was just eating.
Yep.
And I didn't know they would eat that much, but he come up the bottom like 3 times, and you could tell he was feeding every time he come up, or trying to.
It takes a lot of fish to feed 50 pounds.
He was big.
Especially now. They're just starting to get amped up. In the rivers, they're not fired up yet, but in that warmer, still water, they're going.
Yeah.
Well, I felled him. I don't know how big he was, but I've got that titanium 1 Shields rod, and when I set the hook, he vibrated that carbon fiber all the way to my hand, and I thought, holy cow, this is a walleye.
That's a good one.
And I felt the one head shake, and I said head. I knew exactly what it was. As soon as he ripped the pole out of my hand, he shook, pulled about 6 foot of line with a one head shake. He took about 6 foot of drag and straight to the bottom and buried his head.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And if you'd have had a flathead rod out, he wouldn't have bit.
yeah, exactly.
Probably not.
It's only when you got 6-pound tests and
Yep.
a medium light rod
Exactly
that they
right.
come out and hammer it.
They're out there in that water though. It'd be something to try to figure out how to
There's
catch
big
them.
ones in there.
There
And they
is.
shock a few of them up. When they shock them up.
Oh yeah.
Last year they shocked up in one spot 2 walleye over 30 inches, and they shocked up 1 channel cat that was like 18 pounds.
Yeah.
Had some
And,
pretty good
Yeah,
sized
there's been
muskie in
20s
there.
cut out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's good muskie as well.
Flathead, when they shock them, they say they come up and roll, and then they'll go back down.
You can see
They
the belly. Yeah,
can't
yeah.
get
It's a delayed.
Yeah.
Like they don't come up. So
They
a lot
don't.
of times when they shock, they have a trail boat, they call it. And then the trail boat will actually pick
Pick
up
them
the
up
catfish.
behind. Oh, that's interesting.
I've been invited down there to Big Creek to do it with them with the DNR guys, and I've just never taken them
Yeah.
up on it.
I
I'd
would.
like to go.
It's pretty cool.
I'd
Yeah.
like to go.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely a target for mine when I finally get my boat because I live there. It's in my backyard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you, it's not practical to take a guide trip to try to catch them because, like you said, like how do you target them, right?
Yeah.
And like you're gonna have guys that might sit all night for a week straight and never get a bite because you're not
Yes.
on them, right?
Yes.
Whereas if I live there, I could take the time to, I'm going to try this. Nothing. No, tomorrow night I'm going to try it again. And maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But, you never know. Like, you might catch that one, and there could be a doozy in that lake.
I need to turn that mic on and just have Shorty
have
talk.
Shorty
Have shorty talk.
He would.
The old mascot.
Yeah.
What's your favorite treat, Shorty?
His mom's been on vacation with her mom since Friday morning, so him and I have been bacheloring it. So our diets haven't been the best.
A
And
lot of Oreos.
a lot of junk food for both of us. Fried mushrooms. I had 2 pounds of mushrooms, and him and I have been eating morels like
Did you
crazy
find 'em?
all week. Yeah. No, well, I had to buy them, but
Yeah.
didn't have time to go out. But buddy from Boone had a bunch of them. He had 3 pounds left, so I bought 2 pounds.
Perfect.
From him and
Oh, yeah.
We
I went
finished
out
those.
3 times, and the last time I found 10, but they were all
Yeah.
this frickin' big.
dried out.
A little
Most of
dried
them
on
were-
the top. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So I got a little
too.
mess of them, but I just didn't have time to get out. My animal control business has been going nuts. I've been doing that
Good.
every morning. I've been running guide trips and getting ready for guide trips.
What's the major call right now? Have you, a lot of I saw you
Lot
caught
of
some
raccoons,
raccoons. A lot of raccoons.
raccoons.
Isn't that just so
Raccoons are
common now?
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and
they're changing the law in Iowa, where right now, like, they're protected species during there's a season for them.
Off-season.
Yes.
And so they're going to make it like a coyote, where even if you have a hunting license, if you're running dogs or whatever, you can basically harvest them year round.
pound.
You
Yeah.
still have to have permission to be there, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
But but yeah, basically it's just because they're just like a coyote. They're a predator. They're a nuisance.
Yeah.
The population's out of control.
It is.
They're just destroying sweet corn fields. And
Exactly.
The farmers are just go
Yeah, it's like you can kill them year round. You're never gonna
Take a break.
hurt the population.
No,
So
the only thing that sucks is they're worthless. In
Right,
the
right.
summertime,
yeah,
they're
Yeah,
worthless.
they're totally worthless.
But nobody's out there trapping when they're worth anything. So we got to do
Very
it.
few.
We got to do it year round just
Yeah.
to catch up.
But raccoons is the main call. What else have you been catching?
I did some mole jobs.
Moles?
Some moles.
Yep.
A lot of poison on them. I've set some mole traps, but have been very limited success on that. So I've been. They sell poison night crawlers for moles.
I sold them when I was at a distributorship. They work great.
Yeah.
Yep, they're very good.
So I just kind of start on one property and just kind of push them to the other end, and
Yep.
sooner or later.
Moles are solitary animals. A lot of people don't realize that. So
Really?
yeah, a lot of people will call you and be like, "I have moles and I got tons of them." No, you don't. You got one. Like it's
Really?
one mole like per little run. And you might find another little spot where there's moles as well. But then moles will reinfest areas when they're gone. But unless they're breeding, it's that entire run situation is one mole.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
I didn't know that.
It's one.
Because there's like 3 mounds, like different areas with mounds. So
Right. So each one of those, that's a different mole. So that's 3 moles. But like when it's not like moles are crossing each other in the same tunnel.
they've got their own.
Their own solitary
No
animals.
shit.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know
Yep.
that at all.
So like if you run like the spike traps and you catch that mole, you got them.
You're done.
Like yeah, but that doesn't mean they're going to come in like especially if you've got timber or anything along the edges of these properties, they're going to continue to come into
Yes.
that yard.
Yep.
And the other thing you'll hear people say is if you control like grubs in your yard, you'll get rid of moles, and that's the biggest hooey. It's like grubs are just one food source for moles. Like moles' number one
They're so
food source
opportunistic.
is night crawlers.
Yeah.
Like you're not getting rid of the night crawlers, so the moles will not starve to death. It's not like if you get rid of the annual
It's
grubs.
like raccoon. Yeah.
Exactly. They're just going to eat something else. So you have to target the mole. So you're exactly right. If people listening got a problem with moles, call somebody and call Ryan and go after the mole. Don't go after the food source because that's wasting
That's a
your
losing
time.
game.
Losing game. You're going to lose every time.
So what have you been up to, Jay? It's been a
Working.
while.
Man, this is tree treating season now. So phone's been ringing off the hook. I've been traveling. I've been spending time in Nebraska. Just got back from Fargo, North Dakota. I was in Fargo for a week, which was a really good week up there. For those that know, I work for a company that specializes in plant health care for trees, and so emerald ash borer is kind of the driving
Main
force
target
of
right
my
now.
business. They just found it in Moorhead, Minnesota, which is East Fargo. And so now all of a sudden you've got an invasive species that's not supposed to be there, and you've got thousands of ash trees in a community, and then we're like, well, now it's time to start treating trees.
Now you have to do it.
Now you have to do
It's going
something.
to be too late. Yeah.
So I was up there, working with the cities up there, working with the foresters up there as well, working with a lot of contractors. We did some training, did some education, and so I'll make a few more trips up there. But that's been good. Been in South Dakota doing the same thing. Been in Nebraska. Been in Iowa. Been in Minnesota. I've kind of been all over.
Yeah.
So so
a lot
doing
of
that.
good fishing states.
So I know if I was really time,
on a
right?
fishing pole.
But then I do some tree work for myself as well, and
Yeah, you got your side gig
I got a
going.
little LLC. I'm doing a little bit of tree work on that as well as I still take care of the golf course over here, and so I'm busy. I got a lot going on, and so still trying to spend time with family and kids, and I'm gonna be a grandpa this summer.
I know. Congrats.
Gonna be an
I
old
heard
grandpa.
that.
My daughter scheduled her gender reveal party. Guess when? I think I
we're
told you
nearly-
this. Well, I'm on Lake Erie.
We'll watch it live on Facebook.
Yeah, so Saturday, they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to bring family and everything, and we got this gender reveal party. Dad, can you grill for us? Absolutely, be happy to do it. When is it? Saturday, I'm at Lake Erie. I love you, sweetie, but I won't be there.
You owe me.
So the cool thing is I felt terrible, guys. I was really torn. I almost canceled, but one of the guys we're bringing is one of my customers for the company I work for. So
okay.
I'm like, I've committed. I've got
This
a
is
guy
a business
going. Like
trip,
it's a little bit of both, right? And I'm like, I can't cancel on this. So the neat thing is we were celebrating my youngest daughter's birthday, and we're at the top of the Sears Tower, which is Willis Tower now in Chicago.
Chicago.
And my daughter was writing something on this wall where if it's like light one way and it's dark another way, and she was writing something. I come around the corner, and she saw me, and she wiped it away real quick. And
you know they're
and I saw
you know
letters, and I'm not gonna say the letters because my wife will get mad at me.
Yeah.
But I saw letters on there, and I was like, "Oh, you're writing the baby's name, were you?" And she goes, maybe, I don't know." And I'm like, "Okay." So
She's not good at secrets.
right. So my family. So it was a P and an L, and I'm like P and an L. I'm like
Penelope.
that's a P.
Yeah.
So I'm like Plinko. Plankton,
We need to talk about
Pluto. Like, I'm lost. I got nothing.
Wow.
And my youngest daughter, she was like, "Was it PLE?" Because their last name starts with an E, and it might have been initials. And I was like, "Yes, it was an E because it was a straight line right when her hand got there."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I know the initials."
Detective J is on the case.
And so my youngest daughter, her eyes lit up, and she knew the name. I'm not going to say it was a boy or girl, but she knew a name that Taylor had
Was on the
wanted.
hit list.
Was on a hit list, and we had it. And we looked at Taylor and we're like, "It's this." And Taylor just looked at me and she went, "Frick."
You don't have to be there anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You had it right there.
And it worked out great because I had my moment, right? Like,
Yeah.
I found out if I'm having a grandson or granddaughter,
Yeah.
I was able to, have that
Celebrate
joy,
with her.
celebrate.
So you know.
Little cry. I do know. Yep.
Good,
Give her a
because I've
hug.
known for like 3 weeks.
Well, my wife found out like right away, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise
That's
me if
how
you
I found
know.
out.
Yeah, exactly. Go figure. You knew before me.
Because I had a kitchen set that I was getting rid of, and she messaged me. She's like, "You cannot tell Jay, but I want that kitchen set."
Kitchen set, huh? So it might be a girl.
I love to cook, so I can't avoid too.
That's hilarious.
No, she's like, "You
cannot say it. Yeah, so she knew. But now I know, and now I'm like, now I'm going to feel a whole lot better out on Lake Erie that I'm not
Yes, not
missing out on it. So
Yeah.
it works out all great. We have our little story, and it's all fun.
And
So.
now you can take a kitchen set home with you.
I'll load that up in your truck.
Love it. It's
I'm
hilarious.
glad you found out. That's awesome.
Well, I'm glad I still go fishing because I'll tell you, man, I love my kids, and my kids are number one for me. And it's like it was tearing me up when she scheduled that. But at the same time, I was like, "What were you thinking?" Like I go on this trip every year, and even
same
my
week,
my
every
wife,
week.
like,
We
"Nikki,
never
come
change.
on, what were you thinking?" You know,
only week we
why
never went.
this week? At least make it on Memorial Day, like, because we're
Right.
back by then.
Yeah.
Have it on Monday,
Monday.
but not Saturday. Oh my god.
And Ryan was supposed to go this year, but
I was.
He pussed out.
But I've got a guide trip Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Mm-hmm. And then you guys get home Sunday.
Yeah. Well, we talked about, like, if I get my boat picked out this year, I got the truck. So I got the well, I don't have it yet, but the truck's ordered. The truck will be here.
Yep.
That's half the combo, right?
Yep.
But if I get my boat this year and we want to go, we talked about bringing our boys,
Yes.
because I know my son would love to go.
Yep.
Garrett would
Garrett
love
was
to
going to
go.
go this year.
And
Yep.
and there'd be four in a boat. We'd have a blast. Take the boys fishing, and boom, we're in. That would be a really cool trip.
Yes,
Yeah.
it would.
That
And then
that'd
we
be
can work a little more around schedules.
of course
Instead of doing the same week every year, which is awesome
Sure.
that you have that tradition.
sure.
But schedules just don't always allow
Not
for
always,
that.
but yeah,
Yeah.
we may work. But it's a fun trip. We meet some guys out there from Jefferson, so from our hometown. So they go out there the week before, and
They go
they're
on Monday. They fish Monday.
they fish Monday. Okay,
Monday to Monday.
Yeah.
yeah.
And they're good guys. They usually bring another
guys.
Oh, are
3
they
boats.
staying the whole weekend?
They always say the whole week. They'll leave on the Friday. We get there. Our first day's Wednesday. Our first day's Thursday.
Thursday.
They usually leave Friday.
That's what I was
So
thinking. Okay.
Friday to Friday. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Friday
that's what I was
to
thinking.
Friday.
Because I was like, oh, they're going to be there the whole week. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I
I
thought.
haven't even talked to any of them yet. I haven't talked to Terry or.
No, I
I
haven't
talked
either.
to Denny about it a few months ago.
Okay.
But I at that time I thought I was
You
going.
were still going.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, I haven't talked to him since. I haven't seen him yet.
But it's always kind of nice we can see them at least that one day.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
day. usually.
And then,
We'll meet for
you know,
dinner and
Share a little
Go over and hang
intel,
out.
right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
'cause usually by now
Don't
I've
tell
got-
Rick, but where'd you catch the fish at? Come here, let's have a conversation outside. No, quiet, Rick will hear you.
No, I swear it was on green. Every fish was on green.
I know my colors. I have my own spinners that no one else uses.
No, I copied you. I ordered some.
Good.
Hell yeah.
Good.
I like those because I like the size to them.
Yeah.
And I really like that treble hook on the end for a two hook crawler harness. That second hook as a treble hook.
Really?
I think you get a little bit more consistent catches versus misses.
Yep.
You know, it's
And
just
the
that little
heaviest
extra.
line I've ever been able to find on the other snelled hooks is 14, and these come with 17.
Yep.
So I get a little bit heavier line, and
Yep.
I just like them. I mean, they're
They're a little bit more money.
for some piece.
Right, exactly.
But,
I mean, that's a cheap dinner. You catch a good walleye, that's dinner.
It's just part of the process.
Yeah.
So
I take people to jail for doing meth, and then I spend more money on fishing trips than they do on dope. So yeah, it's just the different habits.
Yep.
Different habits.
But the guys that I'm bringing they're big walleye fishermen too.
Mm-hmm.
They're up in northeast Iowa is where they're from. Nice. And they've always been big crankbait type of guys.
Yeah.
They're crankers. Yeah. And so we're going to do a little bit of both because I kind of want to learn how they fish with cranks.
They're catching them on crankbaits right now.
And they want to learn a little bit how we do things with the crawler harnesses and the spinners.
Yeah.
And so much of it out there is the time of year, the water clarity, has everything to do with it. Yeah. And so like those cranks can work, early in the year, spawning, everything else. But we're after post-spawn walleye.
Yes.
And the water clarity gets a little clearer for us, and that's when the spinners really are snapping.
Unless you got the dipsy divers that get those walleye down deep.
Right.
And you can do that. You can run those dipsies off the back two poles, and then run worm harnesses off the side too. And
absolutely. So we're going to do a little bit of both. We're going to kind of see what's working, and I think we're going to learn together on that boat. So they've never really fished with planer boards as much as I have, and there's definitely an art to that for sure.
It's all timing. It's all timing.
But I've also ordered, you use those Ninja boards for the last 2 years now.
Yes.
I ordered some of those. I got 4 of them coming.
Yep.
Nice.
And I really like those. The speed and the efficiency of those are incredible.
They're expensive, but they're the best ones I've ever found. I've bought
I
every
agree,
manufacturer
100%.
made, and
100%.
I'll never buy another one.
Really?
Yep.
I like those Shields ones.
Shields are my second choice.
That's my second one.
Yep,
still.
they're my second choice. They work
If you
really
switch
good.
the springs. You got to switch the springs on the Shields ones usually.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
But the tattle flags on both work. The only difference between the Ninja boards compared to Shields is the tattle flag works reverse.
Yeah.
So on the Shields,
It's
when you
up,
bite, it
and
goes
then
down.
It goes down. Yeah.
And with the Ninja board, they're already down,
up,
and they
and
go
pull.
up when you catch fish. So they are reverse.
And it's just one button releases both clips.
Right.
So I can just grab the Ninja board, push one button,
and they pop
both
right
the
off.
clips pop.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
So it's just.
But I catch real fish, so my planer boards just disappear.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about a flag.
We've had a lot of walleye pulled in planer boards right
Yeah.
There's nothing better than it's just like, it's gone.
Yeah, where the hell did that go? Well, that one that 29.5 incher that I had, you netted it, and I'll never forget that because I was up towards the front of the boat. It was one of the first years we fished out there,
and we just go by turns.
And the planer board just disappeared, and it was like under the boat. And I remember looking at Rick going, "Hey, my line was like going sideways." I'm like, "You need to turn." And Rick looked at me and was like, "The hell I do? Like, control your fish, bitch." Oh shit! I'm trying to get this thing horsing out of it. Thinking it's going to get tied up in the motor, And he netted it like a champ and threw it out there, and it hit the deck. And like, oh my gosh, that's a fish. It was a big one.
Yeah, I actually thought he was bigger than he was.
Yeah, we tried to make 30. I measured it 4 times, and I almost run the truck tires over the top of it to make it 30 but
that was a
nope,
good fish.
it's 29.5.
Yeah.
Good fish.
You've netted 2 of the biggest fish I've ever caught. That big walleye and that 50-pound blue. You
both.
netted.
Yeah.
He's my net man. I got him on the payroll.
He can't catch shit, so he might as well drive the boat and net.
For me, should say on my boat, the real Tasler guide service. Yeah, I bait hooks, I cast them. Say, fish on one. Jay picks it up and reels it in. I net it for him. End of story.
Now,
and it's hanging on his wall.
Oh, and for the listeners, one of the funniest texts I ever got from this guy, he had a picture of me with that 50-pound blue. he took a cropped up picture of his head over my body and my fish and sent it to me and put it on Facebook and everything. And you can clearly tell it's cropped because the head's like a little bit bigger. I laughed for an hour. I almost wrecked my truck. I was laughing so hard. And then like people on Facebook, oh, nice fish, Rick. Where'd you catch that? I'm like,
my wife did it for me, and literally you could see it scribbled out. You could see the outline on the head. I mean, we didn't even try to make it look real. Jay was laughing so hard. Jay's mom messaged me immediately and said, "I cannot stop laughing at this picture." It was great.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. You'll have to find the picture for the YouTube video, and you can crop it in and plop it in because it is funny.
I think it was
hilarious.
Was it on your birthday? And I was wishing you a happy birthday or something.
I don't remember
what it was.
It came through, and I'm not kidding. I was driving, and I almost wrecked my truck because I was hunched over laughing so hard. Yeah, I had tears running down my eyes. It was so funny. Perfect. It was fantastic. Oh, we'll find it. It's in there. I got a screenshot of it. I'll send it to you, Tasler, so you can put it in the video because it's worth a chuckle. I promise you.
Your fans, they will all like that. But I can't take credit. That's all my wife.
Well, she nailed it.
My technology isn't good enough to do that, but luckily I married way up.
It was classic. It's classic.
Let's talk about something that you are good at. What's fight business is doing?
Fight business has been going good. Just had in Fort Dodge now, I'm doing every other show. I'm doing 4 shows up there, and I'm doing every other kickboxing and MMA. The only difference is the kickboxing is not commissioned, so I can save a little bit of money on the commission fees and everything like that, so I can actually make a little bit of money, which is a good
doesn't hurt when you have a business.
Yeah.
It helps.
MMA anymore, it's really, I hate to say it, but it's dying. There's so many people starting promotions that have no business starting promotions.
Yes.
But the crop of fighters are so low. When we fought, we'd fight tomorrow, and if you offered us another fight the next day, we'd fight again.
Right.
We fought to fight. These kids, they need a full, 10-week camp to fight an amateur fight. And their coaches have to be on board and all this, and now all their coaches are
it's just ruining
starting
it.
promotions, and we're working with the same 40 fighters, and I helped get a bad promotion out last year. And now the commissioner, she was horrible, and now she's gone finally, so we have an awesome commissioner that knows the sport, knows everything, and I was planning on building our business so big this year and stuff, and then these other 2 promotions are starting up, and it's just great guys, great everything, but they're in it only for the money, and they're going to end up hurting us just like the last one did.
That sucks.
So it sucks, but,
But, some of our old promotions, there was 8 of our family members that would just fight whoever the hell showed up.
Yeah.
It was like us 8 versus
right.
who we fighting. I don't know yet.
Whoever.
Just line them up. We'll take them on.
Those days are over. I can tell you that. We have some great teams. I work with, this is my 17th year in my promotion, so I've got some great teams from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, everywhere. And I kind of stick with the same ones. And now, 3 years ago, I bought MCC with my nephew Johnny, and we can do that now. So now I reward the guys fighting for my little promotion, and then we move them up to MCC, and all these other guys will try to hit me up and say, hey, I won on the card, I won on this and stuff, and it's like, now I'm just going to work with the group that I have.
So what's MCC got coming? You got your Thanksgiving Throwdown again in Des Moines?
Yep, that's the only show we're doing this year. The Valor Ballroom is what we use for a venue, and they sold it, and it's going through multi-million-dollar renovation and stuff like that. So the event coordinator got a hold of me and said, hey, we don't want to lose you. I know you got to go somewhere else this year to make money, but please don't go anywhere else. He's been working with so many different promotions over the years, and now he doesn't want to work with anybody but except Johnny and I, because we're just so much easier to work with. I pay him in cash up front. Everybody else is chasing for money and stuff like that, and that's the one thing I do. They make more money than I do, but I'm 100% business. So when I leave somewhere, they're begging me to come back, and that's a great feeling. Doug is such a great guy with Valor. So we're actually going to, for Thanksgiving Throwdown, I've been dealing with Matt Ryder with AFC.
He's up north, right?
Nope, that's Mike Estes.
Oh,
he's up there with North Iowa Fights. I work with him also. I'm judging his shows and reffing his shows. My wife sings the national anthem and does timekeeping and stuff, so we work with Mike. Mike's an awesome guy. But Matt Ryder was an ex-MCC athlete that started AFC. He does kickboxing and MMA too. So he took over our venue there at Hy-Vee Hall in Des Moines. So
when MCC kind of stepped off for a little bit.
When MCC stepped off before Johnny and I fully bought the company. So Matt and I are going to combine for a Thanksgiving Throwdown show, and we're just going to do AFC versus MCC and throw a big show.
Hell yeah.
We're going to bring fighters up from Arizona from Benson Henderson's gym, bring them up from New Mexico for Ryan Bader's gym, bring some from Alliance in California and stuff, and have a great big show.
So that's going to be at Hy-Vee Hall then?
Yep, the night before Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, every year, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we call it Thanksgiving Throwdown, and it's just a star-studded
Yeah, it's the best
fight.
show of the event in the entire state of Iowa.
Yeah.
Even the first amateur fight. I mean, you can go down the card and you cannot pick a winner of the 12 fights I can't pick a winner when I'm doing.
Well, you've got all year for those guys to apply to fight.
They earn their way
for
on
Thanksgiving
the card.
Throwdown.
Yep.
They've got to impress you throughout the year to even be considered to be on that
Everybody
card.
wants on it.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and that's what we have to offer over the other Des Moines, promotions that are starting. Is we have Johnny Case, that is the #1 fighter in the entire Midwest right now. He has all the ins with fighting in Japan, fighting California, fighting everywhere up to the UFC.
And he's been in the business so long that he knows every aspect of it.
He knows every aspect of the fight side.
Right.
I'm the longest running promoter in Iowa, constant running. Monty and everybody's been doing it longer than me, but they had breaks in their promotion and stuff. So 17 years, I'm the longest running promotion, so I know the business better than anybody. He knows the fight game better than anybody, so together, we're just...
Great combo.
2024, we are going to blow the roof off MMA in Iowa.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Got about 10 years left. I got 12 years left. I'm going to retire at 58 from law enforcement, and I got about 10 years left with Johnny. I'm going to build Johnny up, and then I'm going to sell out to my cousin Alex. And Alex and Johnny will take everything over and run it from there. So we'll keep the business in the family.
We did a video for one of his fights. I did a catfish video, and then we watched pay-per-view of Alex's fight. So he's an up-and-coming pro fighter as well. And
so that's what we're going to do. I'll train Johnny, and Johnny in 10 years will be where I'm at right now in business, and Alex will be where Johnny is, and they'll just come right
That's
up
a good
through,
transition.
And then give them the business. I'll train them in for a little bit before I become a professional fisherman and right away to South Dakota. And then
so who's going to train you on that?
People, I tell you what.
I was talking about starting from ground zero.
If I'm in the boat with Shorty and the wife, I guess I don't need to catch a lot of fish.
No.
So
No.
It beats working.
It definitely does. So guide trips, I got, like I said, I had one Tuesday that could have been amazing, and
Seven runs.
I had 7 what I would consider flathead bites, and like my buddy Spencer's been out every day for 3 weeks trying to get a flathead, and he hasn't caught one yet. So I was just at the right place with the right bait at the right time.
Exactly right.
I just could not. Our team could not get the job done. There are a couple of the 2 big ones got stuck in wood, like it came tight in a snag, and that happens. There was a couple where they kind of set the hook a little too early. They got a little anxious, which that's why they pay a guide. They're not
right.
I tried to coach them through them as best as possible, but
see, I thought you
happens.
set the hooks and then handed it to them, but
No.
they do everything.
No.
Or they can do
prefer
either
that.
one. Yeah,
if they
can do
prefer
either.
that, I would definitely do that. But these were guys who were, longtime fishermen. They were both retired.
Yep.
So they've been around the block. They just got a little anxious.
Yeah.
And then there was
I've been there.
yeah. Oh,
I've
absolutely.
been lemon shark fishing before.
And especially early in the season.
Yeah, when you're so excited, that first run.
First one.
And then we had a couple that the hook got secured in them, and then while they were fighting them, they kind of let tension off a little bit, and that's all it takes for a flathead to pop the hook.
Yep.
So it was a gut wrenching great night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good story.
Because we had
were
fun.
Happy.
Yeah, we had a blast. We had a good time. But we
Did you get good footage of it?
I did not. No,
Okay.
I really don't tape a whole lot on my guide trips.
Okay.
Because I'm there to do my job.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I didn't know if you had just a chest rig going.
No, I did for parts of it, but that's not my number one priority on a guide trip.
Right.
Now I'm taking one Wednesday with a couple buddies, and I will videotape that one. I'll make a video of it.
Podcast of it.
But yeah, it's more of a pleasure guide trip, and it's in a section that the river hasn't been high enough for me to fish for 2 years, so I am pumped
to get
about
there.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way anybody could have got there the last 2 years.
Right.
And now you
fishing
can.
Only.
Well, even kayak fishing, it had taken you a full day to float.
You'd still been walking through a lot of
far.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last couple of years, it
So
was just a couple holes you could get to. It's pretty limited.
I'm jacked. I'm actually going today's Sunday night. Tomorrow night, right after work, I'm gonna load the boat up, put in, make sure I can get there, make sure it looks the exact same way I remember it in my head, and then Wednesday I'll run a guide trip there.
How did your the guide trip that you were on? Were you at one of the spots that you scouted out?
Yes.
So the scouting trip, You found a spot that you really wanted to hit, and then the guys arrived, and that's where you went, and
and we went back there, and the fish were there.
Well, you had a plan, and everything did its thing. Sometimes it's fishing, right?
Yeah.
Just like Erie this year, we're gonna have great weather.
We got great weather. We know where we're going. We got the bait.
I'm not going.
It up perfect.
You're gonna have a tornado, or you're gonna have 80-mile-an-hour wind.
Shut your dirty mouth.
Every single year I go to Erie, it's like bluebird skies, and it's 73 degrees. And we're fishing in t-shirts.
We've told this story, but Rick and I had a tornado one year. We got blown off the island another year.
To camp.
Yeah.
So we took tents and a camp, and we come out with all the power lines down, all the trees down.
My tent was wrapped around a pole.
When we say a tornado, I mean a tornado.
It was a tornado.
Destroyed the island, and we're sleeping in tents.
It looked like a refugee camp.
Jesus.
It was so bad we missed a day of fishing because it was going to rain the next day.
Yep.
We were going to have a brutal night of being cold, wet, and just to be able to fish one more day. And we were so miserable. We packed up. We called it. We had to call it early.
We did. They need to. Yeah, I think there is a shitty little motel there, and we need to get more info on it because I think there is like a cockroach motel there, and I'm sure it would have been full. But so if that ever happens, not that I'm ever going to tent camp again because I'm not on Kelly's Island.
No,
I'm going to collect pop cans all year if that's what it takes to get a nice house like we have now.
But it's so cool that you go to, was it Sandusky, Ohio?
Yep, Marblehead.
You go on a ferry, and you take a 30, 40-minute ride.
20.
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes or so.
And
then it takes
into Lake Erie to get to Kelly's Island.
Yep.
Lots of famous people live on Kelly's Island. There's 2 big islands there. It's Put-in Bay, right on the land side, and then it's Kelly's Island, and it's just multi-million-dollar houses.
Absolutely.
And it's just older people. Kelly's Island, you don't. Put-in Bay is where you go to party.
It's a town. It's a town on the island.
Kelly's Island. They got a full police department. All the Sandusky and Cincinnati officers come out. Fire department.
Yep.
Just $1 million houses that people have to.
They got a grocery store and like 3 or 4 bars.
Well, let's not get carried away. They have a little general store, but if you can get a package of hot dog buns, you're doing pretty good. So we go there for the ice cream, but not the groceries. So
great ice cream.
But Busch Light's cheap there.
The one you remember, we knew it was a good deal, and so we decided to pick up Busch Light on the way home. And I remember getting to that grocery, and there's no can deposit either, right? Yeah. And we're like, let's stop and get somewhere. And I think you walked down, threw your arms up because it was on sale, and you get like a 30-pack for like $13 or something like $8. I think it was like $11.99 or something like that. I was like, shit, I'll go get a cart. I'll be right back.
Had to put springs on the truck when I got home with beers and logs of Copenhagen because both was on sale. So
the only thing, Kelly's Island is a great place to go fish, and unique thing about that island is it is home to a endangered species, a snake. I'm not kidding.
Snakes. And they're assholes.
It is a black water snake, and they're protected. Like you can't touch them.
You can't even look at them.
Exactly. And the one year we were out there, we ran out of beer. It was cardinal sin number 2. Ryan and I ran out of beer. So instead of going all the way back to the house, we just decided to go to the bar and grill, which is just, they have a little dock there.
The marina.
And so Rick was like, I'll get you up to the dock. Ryan and I jumped off. We decided we'll just go buy some at the bar. And we're walking down this concrete levee, and you talk about snakes.
Yes. You can hear them.
They were it was like Indiana Jones type
shit. They say they're endangered, but
they look like they were doing very well. And so we go into this bar, and we bought our beer. And even that was cheap because I'm like, it's probably going to be $30 for a 6-pack. And it was like we get 6 beers, and it was like
I think we tipped
$8. So it's like
tipped them as much as the beer was.
Yeah, it's like how much for that whole case? We're like, we'll just take it all and tip. It was cheap. But then we were talking about these snakes, and the gal behind the counter, she goes, well, if you want to see snakes, look over the edge on the way back out. And so we walked over, and over this ledge there was a railroad tie. And a railroad tie is like 6 inches wide, right? And guys, you couldn't see the wood. No. It was just solid.
It was a solid
water snakes
mass of moving.
I've never seen anything like it.
And Jay's not bad around snakes. Ryan sees a snake and he's like,
I'm way better now. I mean, that's part of my animal control business. I bet I caught 40 some snakes last year.
Wow.
I mean, But I do have 6-foot snake grabbers.
Yeah.
But
he's got rattlesnake grabbers to pick up garter snakes.
I do.
But it's a unique place. It's a unique town. They got
cool.
the one year we got blown off the island. We decided to go on a tour and because we couldn't fish. It was literally like 50-mile-an-hour winds. You could not fish.
Yeah.
And so we decided to go check out all the bar and grills. And I'm like, well, I think there's like 3 or 4 bars on this island.
We never even.
And then we ended up, there's 11 of them. Yeah. And we went to all 11 in 2 days.
There's an awesome Mexican restaurant. There's wineries.
There's wineries out there.
On the lake. There's glacier ruins where glacier rocks carved out.
Yep.
That's awesome. They
That's
got a
really neat.
big quarry right in the middle of the island that you can fish and swim. And I don't know if you legally can, but. And, man, there's so many cool things
there
on that
is.
island that
So,
we had no idea.
We had no idea. And we found out there's, like, live music at night at some of the bars. You go down there and listen to some music and have a few cocktails.
We're there to fish. I mean, when Jay and I are there, we don't even change clothes. I mean, we fish, we clean fish, we go back. They have a few beers, we make them dinner.
Play cards.
We eat,
Absolutely.
play cards. And
Yep.
Like 10 o'clock, we're back in bed and up again the next morning. We're there to fish. Have a couple good buddy hours at night.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's what we're there
Do you remember the year we ran out of night crawlers?
Oh, Jesus.
We went to this, and you were there. We went to this little bait shack by the old boat ramp
there that we had to go in.
And so, their selection is like if they might have a package of hooks and a package of sinkers on the wall, and that's
And
just a
one
bait
bobber.
shop. And one bobber. It's pretty bad.
For Lake Erie.
And we're like, and this guy rolls up and just opened the door, and we're like, hey, we need some night crawlers. We'll take, I don't know, 5 or 6 dozen, like whatever. So this guy, and he never said a word.
Never.
He never said, hello, can I hit? Guys, I'm telling you, he didn't say one word. And he goes behind the cooler, and he pulls out this big tray, and he starts getting night crawlers. And so he ruffles his hand through, and he's like, one. But he didn't count. He just like throws 1, 2, and he grabs another one, 2. And Rick and I are looking at each other like, what's going on here, you know?
Deliverance. He's just getting us to look at him, and someone's gonna grab us from behind.
And Rick looks at me, and he's like, he mouths to me, he's like, is he blind? And I'm like, I don't know, he drove here.
You did say that. That was your response. He's blind? And I was hoping deaf because I said it loud enough. And Jay said, I don't know, he drove here and pointed at his car, and I said, holy shit, he did drive here.
So he goes through this, and then he can't get the register to work.
Yeah.
And we're like, we screw money at him, but like, just keep it.
We paid $10 a dozen.
Yeah, $3 a night crawler.
But then we get out there, and Ryan opens it up, and he's like, how much did you pay for these? I'm like, we just threw money at him. And Ryan's like, there's only 4 night crawlers in here. It's like, son of a bitch. Like, we absolutely got ripped off by this guy.
Couldn't talk, couldn't count. It's like my third brother. Holy shit. I've been hitting the head so much, and I have.
Yeah, so we learned it's like, okay, don't go out to Lake Erie and run out of bait. That's your run out of beer might be the cardinal sin number 1. Run out of bait, that's 2.
No shit.
Yeah, you can find bait, but you better find someone on the ferry going across that'll give you the rest of their worms. Thank God they did that once.
Yeah. Well,
Terry Semke saved us. And
last year we had a hard time getting them because it was so cold, remember? And I'm like, hey, here's what I got, but this is the best Garrett and I could do. We're out there pretty late.
Every gas station on the way out, we were buying like 2 dozen worms.
Right, exactly. And then we found out they were leaving as we were coming on, and we're like, oh, yeah, we got 8 or 9 left. We'll take them, you know.
And we used them.
That
last day, man, they were...
Man.
We caught 200 fish the last day, I'll guarantee. Drum, bass, walleye. And they were rocking.
Yeah, we have a good time out here. That is a great trip. It's a lot of fun.
I'm sorry I'm missing it. I mean, this...
You should be.
Because I usually, about every 4 years, I usually go.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to take Garrett this year because he kind of got his shit together, and he's kind of earned a fishing trip.
I'm going to bring my boy, too, sometime. So, like I said, if I can get the boat lined up, that'd be one thing we'll definitely talk about.
Yeah.
See if we can take both boys.
2 years ago, when your sister went, we were only able to fish 1 day because we got blown off.
And got blown off the island.
Man, she caught some fish.
Yep.
She really
she loved it. I remember those guys looking at her because, she's digging in the night crawlers a little bait. She's baiting hooks and eating chips out of the same hand. And these guys are looking at her like, you're a freaking dream catcher. So like, who married you? You're amazing.
Yep.
She does, man. My sister doesn't get a fish unless she's out with family because her family doesn't fish. It's just her. But you don't have to worry about her not wanting to get off the water.
She came trapping with us one day when she came back.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, we brought my nephews out and caught some coyotes, and she loves that stuff. Just loves the outdoors, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun because she lives in Ohio, so she wasn't that far away, and I don't get to see her that often unless it's holidays and stuff. So it was really fun to spend some time with her. But then we got blown off the water, and I had to introduce myself. I'm like, well, we're not fishing for 2 more days. We can't get you off the island, and so you're going to meet Drunk Brother because she's never met Drunk Brother before. She met Drunk Brother.
Yes, she did.
He's a blast. I love
drunk
him.
old guys claiming it his buddy. Yep, Sean and I were there, and Sean and I don't drink, so.
Yep,
my
life
wife got tore up with him. And that's all we had to do.
That's all you had to do. It was so windy, the ferries got canceled, so we couldn't leave.
Wow.
We were just stranded.
I just pulled a bunch of money out of ATM, and I ate greasy food every place we went. And you guys had the margaritas there.
Margaritas, man.
At the Mexican restaurant, winery. That bar behind it was awesome.
Remember the one bar had like 2 bar stools.
Yeah, that was the Mexican restaurant.
That was the Mexican one, right? We're all standing, like 8 of us all lined in here, and there's 2 bar stools, and we're like...
Jay and I are standing in the hallway to the bathrooms, so every time everybody went by, we had to turn sideways and suck it in. Someone would walk by us to go back to the bathroom.
That bar was... this room is bigger than that bar.
Way bigger than the bar.
Yeah.
And that's a
awesome.
Mexican restaurant.
It was a restaurant.
Awesome. Yeah. But they had awesome food.
Awesome food.
Yeah, it was.
Great drinks.
Great drinks, great people. I mean, what a gem, right? And we would have never known it. In a million years, we'd have never found it, never known about it.
Where's the best Mexican you ever had? Well, in the middle of Lake Erie, there's this island. It's called Kelly's Island.
Yeah. Yeah, we stayed at one house that we had to drive across a runway to get to, and you got to look both ways for airplanes.
Yeah.
I remember that. There's an airstrip.
There's an airstrip. You got to look both ways so you don't get hit by an airplane.
There's so many famous people that have
What a way to
houses
die.
there.
Yeah.
They went
How'd he go?
together
Well, the prop got him. The boat? No, the airplane.
They built an airport just for the famous people to land their leaders.
Gotta get out there.
And that was the only place they could do. They had to cross a road.
You got to cross the runway to get to that next road.
Yeah.
Just the way it's set up, you know.
Fly to their vacation homes and relax where nobody knows them.
Cross with caution.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. We never saw a plane, but we always look both ways.
Yeah.
And now we found a kind of a cool house, and I think we'll kind of stay
I like
there.
the one we're at,
It doesn't sleep enough people. If we take 2 full boats, we might have to look at a different one, but...
Or even get another house, too. And
Was that
we
the
could do
same
that,
one when I was there?
Nope, this is one we just stayed at last year for the first time.
Because I like that last one we were at where you could back in and then there's that deck
that one
right
too.
there to load and unload the boat.
That was nice.
And that was a good one. And it was available this year, too.
Yep.
That one and this one. And this one is just, it's easier for where we put in at. We can walk to the restaurants. It's 2 blocks from the restaurants. And for the ice cream shop, of course.
Right.
I can go get ice cream anytime I want to. On the boat.
Want to clean fish?
You're on vacation.
No.
You can cheat for a while.
Because if it rains and I can't fish, there's a massage parlor there and an ice cream shop right across from it. So I get a massage, I eat ice cream, and the wife and I go back and talk about things.
Yep.
Yes.
Discuss
Have
the
a
weather.
meeting.
Yep.
Team
We have a
meeting.
Yep.
How do we outfish the other boat tomorrow?
That's what we're talking about. That's all
I'm sure it
when
is.
I shut that door, that's all we're talking about, Jay.
And evidently, she can't come up with a plan because all I hear is, "Oh God!"
Yeah, that's right. She is getting excited. She really likes walleye fishing.
You need a bigger worm. Bigger worm. Bigger worm.
I have heard that before. Yes. She has said that.
On that note, I think we're going to call her quits.
Man.
On the podcast, we always have the last cast. The last cast is anything that you want to revisit, talk about, whatever you want to leave the viewers. Now it's viewers. It used to be listeners. Now it's viewers. So anything you want to leave the viewers on?
I just found out that Jay is learning from my fishing, so I appreciate it. He actually switched to the same spinners that I'm using at Erie.
It's true.
So what
True
he doesn't
story.
know is I bought 60 some of them this year to go out, because if they didn't catch them, I was going to give him several.
Goodbye
of them.
retirement fund.
Yeah. So I did, but I've got, between the regular spinners and my secret spinners, and I'm not going to announce on the... I'm not telling nobody.
Nobody.
They're so hard to find.
Well,
if
call
people
them.
know them.
Call them and say, if you want to sponsor Tasler Guide Service.
There you go.
There's 2 places online I've ever found them, and I get them at Fish USA is where I get them. I can give a shout out to Fish USA.
That's where I got mine.
And as soon as we get done, I call them whatever colors I have, and I order 10 of each. And I'm paying $4 and something.
$4.99
for that is what I'm literally paying. $5 for that.
Yep.
I spent $200 on spinners for this year again.
Yep. I spent about $130, I think it was, something like that.
So anybody with Fish USA,
Best of the best.
give me a call.
Please
Let's
give
make
us a
something
call.
up.
Because as you see between the Akuma line counter lines and everything that I buy from you, Fish USA, Tasler, look in the last name. I am like Norm walking into Cheers. So yeah, hook us up and we will get you some sales.
Heck yeah.
Jay.
Yep. I always look forward to this trip. This is always marked on the calendar. Like I said, I'm missing my very first grandbaby's gender reveal party. That's how much this trip means to me.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we've known each other our whole lives. It's so much fun to hang out, laugh, and tell
is.
stories. It's just it's memories that I love. But yeah, this is the first vacation of the year for me. I've been working my tail off. I haven't had a day off, so I'm really ready for a day off. But then after that, I get back, and then I've got. I'm only back for the month of June, and then I go to Vegas for 10 days. So I'm gonna hit the World Series of Poker.
Oh yes, you are going to the World Series this year.
I've had a good year poker wise. For those of you listening, you guys know that I kind of play poker for a side income.
dabble.
It's kind of a little dabble.
Yeah.
But I've had a good year. I've had 4 pretty somewhat decent tournament scores. So I've got about 19,000 in income in poker this year so far.
yeah.
So
I've
going.
spent that much on walleye.
I know exactly right. Yeah. But I got some guys that we're gonna make a trip to Vegas. We got an Airbnb rented out there for a week, and so I'm not doing the main event at the World Series of Poker.
Maybe.
Well,
We'll see if you qualify for it while you're
maybe. But it's a big maybe. But I'm gonna play the mini main and the Colossus, and then a few other events out there. So I'm gonna hit it hard while I'm out there. Kind of taking a really nice break this month. So I haven't played any poker the whole month of May.
Just
it's the
first
time in
right.
like 5 years. So yeah, just doing a little bit of poker study, a little coaching, and just trying to prepare for that. So my mind has been on working, and I'm ready to go fishing. And then when I get back, I'm going to go work some more, and then I'm going to go play poker. And then I'm going to go work some more, and then before you'll know it, we'll be trapping.
Well, the good thing is, like you just said, we've literally been hanging out since Jefferson and Scranton combined schools and everything.
Like
since,
5th grade.
Yeah.
I think it was 5th grade.
Yeah, because I was Scranton, you guys were Jefferson
We've
before
been
we
talking
consolidated.
fishing literally that long and been, top 5 friends on this
planet, right? Yeah, absolutely.
So just for you and your wife to know, when I get out of the shower Saturday, I will give you a gender reveal. And everything will be perfect. I will find out what it is, and I will blow pink stuff in the air or blue stuff in the air. So I'll either tuck it or untuck it just for you because we have been such good friends.
You better have binoculars. We're twins.
Yeah.
We had to share.
I hope it's warm. But for you, I'll do it. So we're covered.
Love it, man. It's gonna be a blast. We're gonna have some fun tonight. We gotta go get some nightcrawlers, so we're gonna keep having fun here the rest of the night. It ain't even dark yet, so
scramble.
we're gonna grab something to eat maybe, and then go pre-soak some fairways and drink a few more cocktails here.
Hell yes. I want to talk about Whisker Seeker for my my last cast because they have come out with all kinds of crap this last couple months. They have this bait station. They call it the Bait Shack.
Really?
And it's like a cooler, like a normal, like you've all seen my live bait coolers. So it's an insulated cooler, and then it's got 3 air pumps in it that are solar powered. Like you never have to charge it.
Wow.
Why 3 of them?
Just for
Because 2 of them might not be enough.
Just for the oxygen, and the oxygen intake is regulated.
A lot of oxygen.
Like it's got a temperature reading on it, it's got an oxygen level reading on it, and it can go like 17 days without charging.
Wow.
And that's my problem when I go to the Red River and stuff like that. The batteries are dead by the time you get up there.
Yes.
And if you don't stop halfway up and replace your D batteries, you got dead bait, you have everything else. But
this thing's insulated, so it keeps the water cool.
Wow.
It's got 3 different pumps in it. It's solar powered, is the best frickin' thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's $250. You know what I mean? Those you buy a I don't even know.
You've never
Frable.
played poker with me. That's one buy in Prairie Meadows on a Friday night.
I know.
Yeah. You've never went shoe shopping with my wife either. Yeah.
But like a Frable's half that price and stuff, but it's half the quality.
Right,
You know,
exactly. But if what's the warranty on it? Like, do they have like at least a year warranty on it or anything like
I
that?
can't tell you on that.
But I bet the quality's totally worth it.
Whisker Seeker is the best of the best.
Whisker Seeker has the best customer service of any fishing business I've ever done with.
Right.
So,
and what do they call that cooler? What do they call it?
The Bait Shack.
They call it the Bait Shack.
Yeah,
We'll be
it's
looking
pretty
that up.
impressive.
That is cool.
And how big is it?
Right, that's what I was going to ask.
65 quart or how big of a
No,
cooler
it's
is it?
it's probably a 32.
So you're talking a dozen baits, 2 dozen baits. How many do you think you can put in there?
Well, it depends on what year. If it's August, there's 6 baits in it.
Right.
You
got huge baits.
Pound and
Right.
a half cart. But,
Right.
you know, a normal bait-sized bluegill or bullhead, probably 18.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll,
Get a dozen
we'll
half
stay
in
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, it's
a night of
awesome.
fishing.
And then they've come up with new sun shirts. I should have had one out here because they got me a couple of them. But so they got bought out by the same company that has Yum and Rebel lures, and so it's the owner that started the company is now the manager.
Like a VIP. So
Yes.
he stayed on board.
So he stayed on
okay,
to keep
so the quality, they're not going to lose
keep
quality.
Whisker Seeker because
Yes, yes.
that's what he built and that's what he loves. But they've got more capital to expand
They
now.
got the money behind them now.
So they are exploding with new crap. So anybody that hasn't jumped on Whisker Seeker lately, jump on it because they've got a bunch of top quality catfishing stuff coming out.
And just so you know, on this trip, I've got my 9'6" Whisker Seeker pole that Ryan gave me. That's going to be catching walleye right on Lake Erie.
That is
right
the
along
best
with
thing
all of
about
us.
those rods. They will haul in
Anything.
a 70, 80-pound blue cat,
Right.
a 40-pound flathead, and a 12-inch walleye.
Yep.
And they work for it all.
Jay might catch a 12-inch walleye, but I do not.
Those are the only ones you eat.
16's that is the truth. 16 to 18-inch fish. 15 is 18. I throw the big ones back.
But literally the only thing I do between flathead fishing and trolling for walleye,
Switch
I
the
take
line.
off my 60-pound test and I put 17 on.
Yep.
Yeah. Same,
That's it.
Same reel. Yeah. Yep.
All medium lights, all Akuma cold waters.
Yep. That's
Just
all I
go
use
to work.
trolling to is the Kuma
Yep.
cold waters. And
You just go to work.
I actually went up to 20-pound this year because when that one dunked me last year, dunked the planer board, and I broke 17. I went to 20 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I'm at 60 because I had 50 break. You know,
Can happen.
if that breaks, I'm going to steel leader the whole way.
Lead core flathead line. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna
Shorty, what's your last cast? It looks like it's
Yeah.
a banana. You gotta throw the banana.
I really hope you guys
That's
didn't
his-
mind I was playing fetch the whole time because literally we've been on for an hour and 14 minutes and I played fetch the whole freaking
time.
Now you will
with
not
his
wear him
dog.
out.
and he's not wore out. I'm tired just looking at
If
him.
you want to take a break, do not get a Fox Red Lab, people. Do not get it. Stick with a Bulldog.
He's a good boy.
Absolutely.
All right, so next week, hopefully I got some good footage from my guide trips this week. And if not, I'm going to get out. I've got a couple videos half made, so I'll get something good out for you. So we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.